Bjorn Andreas from the Netherlands. Bo Hansen. Even the hedonistic gets it.
Sometimes when I come out here, I feel a great sadness. And I think that's because I stand with one foot in the past and one foot in the present, in modernity, if you will. What we lost when we went from being hunter-gatherers to being civilized people was first and foremost community. We lost the tribe. We lost family. We lost the feeling of being part of something. Belonging to someone, something.
See, you're so good, you never come out like,
we lost that. Now more and more people are living alone, and many people take pride in that, even though it's, it's completely unnatural. We are, as Homo sapiens, we are pack animals, and it's like, I sometimes say that you can choose to be, and this has nothing to do with veganism.
Yeah, like I said, he's a hedonistic, not Christian, but he gets it.
By the way, it's just an example.
I
you can choose to be a vegan, but you can never become a herbivore if you're a human being. And it is, just like, in the same way you can't, you can choose to live alone, but you can never become a solitary animal, because you're not. I'm not, you're not. And while I spend my days alone, I'm not a solitary animal. So we lost community, we lost our tribe, and now with recent modern times, it seems like we're losing the family as well.
About community, from a non-Christian point of
we
view.
have this situation with
You think there's something off?
kids growing up,
Fancy letting that fucking war criminal into
without
their
the
country.
father. That's very
I
common.
can't get over that.
And I'm not
That's
blaming
treason.
anyone
All
if
their
that's your
government ought to be locked
situation.
up by the Geneva
If
Convention
you're a
for
single
that.
mother, I'm not blaming you. I'm just stating the fact.
Well, it goes
It's
against the
not
Geneva Convention.
how it's supposed to be.
For crimes against humanity.
People are depressed.
And
I know why people are depressed.
Not only that,
Because they
police will
eat
protect them.
things we're not supposed to eat. And they spend their days mostly alone, looking into harmful light
That's bad.
screens. And you're doing that now. I know, but I'm trying to get this message across. And by the way, there will be people who have written in the comments now, oh, without modernity, without modern life and civilization, you wouldn't have been able to make that video. And that's true. And if you want to call me a hypocrite, go ahead. But I need to get this message across, because I think it's important. We were meant to spend our days walking around in nature, under the sun,
with a fucking tent on.
gathering food and, whatever we needed. And in the evenings, we would sit around a campfire with our friends and family, our tribe.
Puts mine on. This is mine. You got one the same.
And that's happiness. And when we now live so far removed from that way of life, it's no wonder that people are depressed, that they get sick, And I'm seeing and hearing that what used to be the natural world, our ancestry,
I'm going to show you a picture in a minute.
it's
They turned me into.
it's vanishing.
Yeah, so.
No, you haven't.
Sometimes
No, you
it
haven't.
feels
Yes.
like
What?
people
the picture
just
of you as an eye.
don't
We
care
haven't seen what they done with that.
I did.
about where we come from
No,
and
you haven't seen what they did with
our
that
home.
picture.
Yes, I
The
did.
cartoon.
Yes.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I get your email.
Oh, you did too.
this
How good
is our
that?
home.
I thought it was funny.
Nature.
Yeah. Suits you.
When I come out here dressed like this,
You're funny.
it's not for show. It's not to pretend. I'm not playing dress up. This is a way for me to connect with what is real. During the last few years, I have seen more and more trees being cut down to make room for, well, just for forestry and also to make room for more houses. People need a place to live, I get that, but we are losing something that we will never get back, which is our
People
home,
don't need fucking mansions.
nature.
People don't need fucking
And
8 bedroom,
don't
15 bedroom
start-
mansions.
get me started with, oh, they plant new trees. This, you're sitting in a plantation. No, I'm not. And yes, they do plant new trees, and what you get is a monoculture. You don't get a forest. What I'm trying to say here is, and I'm getting to the point, you know, we created as Homo sapiens, that's our species, we created this civilization, this modern world with all sorts of nice stuff that make us more safe and more comfortable. But at the same time, we made life unbearable. At least to many people it feels unbearable. We work until we drop, and that's your life basically. Well, there's the helicopter again. I usually cut that out. I don't know if you can hear it. I usually cut it out, but now I won't, so that you can see what it's like for me making these videos. But in our effort to create a safer and more effective world, we created diseases, we created depression, we created loneliness. We lost so much with what I like to call modernity. When we went from being hunter-gatherers, that was the so-called agricultural revolution 10,000 years ago, the Neolithic, sorry, the Neolithic period started and people settled down, went from being hunter-gatherers to being farmers. That was the first step, because at that point, when people did that, when people started to live like that, they also created hierarchies. Some people had to bend the knee, and some people would decide and point at the others and tell them what to do. And I think that's when it all started. I think we were much happier before that. Some people say, you know, hunter-gatherers, they lived only until 30. That's not true, actually. We know that that's a myth. It's not true at all. Child mortality was high, sadly, but from what I have learned, it got higher after the agricultural revolution. Some people say that it's all designed, it's all planned, and the system is rigged so that, you know, we are being kept down. We're being fed and entertained, bread and circus, so that we won't rise up and throw the elites to the wolves or to the lions or whatever. And I personally think that there's a lot of truth to that. People are being kept just content enough to not revolt But let me ask you this. After a normal day, are you happy? After a day of maybe commuting back and forth to work and sitting there looking into a screen, if that's what you do for a living, and maybe you watch on TV in the evening and you doom scroll, are you happy? And if the answer is not yes,
It's obviously no.
then my question is, don't you think that you deserve something better? I don't have all the solutions, but I will say that it is time that we try to reach out to other people, and we need to get back to nature. Call up a friend or some friends and get out there, have a campfire, spend the night, sleep in a tent, and find that feeling of being part of something that matters. Sit around the campfire with friends. That's basically what I'm trying to say here, because that's what we were meant to do.
What do we call it in Australia? The bush telly. Watch the bush telly for a while. The flames dance on the log.
I always feel better when I walk out the door, and I am very lucky because I live right next to the forest, and I always feel so much better when I walk out the door and I walk out into the forest. I am very much a woodland creature, I guess. And I think that it's a physiological thing. It's just your body telling you that, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Why don't you do that more? It will be a miracle if you discover this video. Because YouTube will probably hide it, but sometimes I just can't stand that YouTube game trying to make videos so that they will please the algorithm and all that nonsense. Yeah, so did you know that when you're under the sun, I think it's called mitochondria, are somehow being activated. That infrared light is penetrating your clothes and your skin and into 6 centimeters into your body, and it's very good for you.
Did you know that that's what actually keeps birds alive? The sun. If they go too many days without sun, they die. There's a certain amount of energy they get from the sun's rays. The bird is a solar-powered creature, pretty much.
The same light is actually the light that you... Now my campfire is a little bit rubbish right now, but campfire light is the same light. You have the same infrared radiation there that is very good for us. And also if you are surrounded by green trees and leaves and things like that, it gets even enhanced, so to speak, that light from the sun. So you could say that it's almost as if we were supposed to be out there in the forest.
You become a part of photosynthesis. And reciprocal of that photosynthesis. I think that's the scientific terminology for it.
It's almost as if that's our natural habitat. It is. So, yeah. I always say, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps.
I like Bull Hanson. He's cool. He's cool. So he's not a Christian. He's a heathen. He's heathenistic. He'll tell you he's heathenistic. But he's right. I don't think he was meant to live like this. Absolutely not. For example, turn this. Look. Like, you know, when you look out the window and see all that. You're not meant to look out the window and see other people looking back at you. But you're meant to have community, so, but, you know, a community you can reach out to. I don't, honestly. We live in like sardines in a can. We have no privacy, but yet we have no community. Don't you think that's a bit weird? It's why, like, I will go and live in the bush, off the land, in a small cabin that I build somewhere in the forest, before I will live in an apartment building. You try and stick me in an apartment building? Ha! I'm going to raise hell. You stick me in a cell, man, you better give me some books or I will raise hell. You better give me something to occupy my mind in the right way. Give me pen, paper and books, and I will write a book. About how wrong it is to be locked in that cell. It's not even... What the hell? Look at our correctional services. Service my ass. Facilities. Stick them in a cell and then for a daytime and stick a whole bunch of non-violent people for non-victim crimes in a yard with the worst of the worst and wonder why they come out worse rather than better. And they give them no real exercise. They give them a gym. They let them teach each other how to fight. They feed them up like a brick shithouse. And they go down, network, learn how to fight, build up like a brick shithouse. And they go down naughty and come out as hard criminals. How the hell is that a correctional service? It's a networking facility. If you stuck them out in the highway or out in the bush and actually gave them something to do that they would have some sense of accomplishment, cleaning up around in parks and reserves and that sort of thing. If they're real bad, stick them out in the highway in the sun on a chain gang like they used to do. Clean the place up. Saves a fortune. Absolute fortune. With councils. Why would we need councils? We wouldn't need them. All we would need would be town meetings, town hall meetings, and a mayor, you know, like it used to be, that used to represent the people. Instead of having United Nations representation to the people, that's actually a hoodwink. You give people something, you know, a sense of accomplishment, and they clean somewhere up and rah-rah, and then when they come out and they go back and have a look at that, and they see someone messing up, it's like, hey, get out of that, you little bastard. Do you know how hard we work to clean that up? That's a sense of pride in community, because they added value to their community. Suddenly, they become a respected and respectable member of their community. Oh, but we can't have that, can we? No, we'd rather bring war criminals into the country and protect them. We go on about sustainability while we destroy the fucking place. Sorry. What's sustainable about that? We don't allow inheritances anymore. You can't pass that house on to the next generation. They have to go build another one. And this one will get sold to pay for you to stay in an old folks' home. They took up more land. You see how retarded that is? That's absolute. That's non-compos mentis. Non-compos mentis. Not of sound mind. That's what that means. It's Latin. Gotta love Bull. He actually used to be a professional weightlifter. He injured himself. And he's an author, he writes books. He's a heathen. I am with a Jan. I've got more in common with him than half of you Christians. I've got more in common with him than I have half of you Christians. That time we got right with God, I reckon. Or as he would call it, Mother Earth, Mother Nature.